Hi, I'm Batsa. I have made a few videos covering Revolution Idol recently, but today I'm covering another incremental game, Trimps. This will be a one-off video covering the basics of the game. I don't intend to make guide videos for it, but I will be talking about places where you can get help with and information about the game. This is an older game, it's more than 10 years old, and it's not as popular as Revolution Idol, but it's a fantastic game in my opinion. I have been playing it for 7.5 months, with the tab of the game always open and running, so I spent around 5,000 hours playing it so far. The game is available on Steam, but it can also be played on a couple of websites too, like GitHub and Congregate. I'm playing on GitHub currently, so I can play a different game on Steam at the same time. All the links are in the description below. The game is free, though if you want you can spend some money to buy a specific resource. I personally haven't bought it yet, but maybe I will buy it in the future, not because I need the rewards, but just to show my appreciation to the developer. This game is made by one guy. This game can be played more idly compared to Revolution Idol, which despite the name is anything but idle now. In Trimps, once you unlock some useful automation and quality of life features, and set it up properly, you can be AFK and let the game play itself, though being active can make your progress a bit faster. So what is Trimps? It's an idle/incremental game where you command an army of Trimps, and they will gather resources and fight enemies for you, and the enemies' names also end with imp. And the goal is to progress until you either hit a specific landmark, or to progress as far as possible. Each run usually takes several hours, but it can take between under an hour to 2 days or more, depending on what you want to achieve in that run. At that point you start a new run from scratch, but you will unlock permanent perks over time. You can allocate resources to level up these perks, and that will increase your power and enable you to progress further in the next run. So like many other games in this genre, it's a roguelike. I'm going to compare this game to an MMORPG, which is a bit weird for a solo idle incremental game, but bear with me. The game is divided into zones. Each zone consists of 100 cells. The last cell is a tougher enemy which can be compared to a boss, and once you complete it you move to the next zone, which will be one level higher than the previous one. You can only run zones in order, and you can only do each zone once. So think of it as an open world area with quests, but the creatures don't respawn, so you can run the area and do the quests only once. The second part of the game is maps. Think of it as dungeons that you can repeat as many times as you like, and you can customize them in various ways, changing their level, type, rewards, size and difficulty. Zones and maps have different rewards to them. There are also void maps, which in my comparison are akin to heroic dungeons. They scale to your level, you can only run them once, and the last enemy is a boss which gives you an important resource and also a special weapon or shield. More on it in a bit. There are also special maps, like the red and green colored maps here. You need to run them at some point for one reason or another, as they have a special reward in the end, but usually you don't have to run them more than once or twice. So I guess you can think about them as raids, but most of them become outdated and trivial to run eventually, although you still might want to run them if they give you a relevant reward. One of these special maps is a Bionic Wonderland, and you can run it at a level that is much higher than your current zone level. This is actually called raiding in the game. A feature of the game that I really like is that it starts really simple and basic, and gradually adds more features with higher levels of complexity. So you don't feel overwhelmed, but also don't ever get bored of doing the same stuff over and over again. This is a very early game save. You can see that the zone looks pretty straightforward, and there are only 4 tabs: buildings, jobs, upgrades and equipment. And this is my current save. You can see that I have blue cells, red cells, brown cells, yellow cells and other colors too. The last building, which holds Trimps, is way more complex than all the other Trimp housing units. And I have 4 additional tabs: Mastery, Nature, Spire and Spire Assault. Mastery gives you a lot of quality of life and power. I have all of it unlocked now, but it took me about 4 months between getting the first talent and getting the last one. This little guy is Fluffy. I also maxed him out, but it took a while. Nature adds another layer of gameplay. Spire is a tower defense game inside the main game, but it also affects the main game progression with these 3 types of towers. And Spire Assault is another game in a game that I have recently unlocked. There are bones in the game too, which is the currency you can also buy with real money. I have unlocked all the exotic imports and permanent upgrades, it took quite a lot of time, and now I buy some of the other goodies when I need to. The amount of quality of life and automation you get over time is fantastic. You get access, for example, to a powerful Mapped Zone tool, which lets you customize which maps to run when in your run. So you can start it and go AFK, and the game will progress exactly in the manner you want it to. Another thing I like about the game is the numbers balancing. It's perfection. Chef's kiss. The progression also feels fantastic. On a weekly basis I was managing to progress by 20 to 25 zone levels, and if it was lower I probably was doing something wrong. Another good thing is that almost every run is different. When you start a run you can and should pick a challenge, and depending on what you choose, your preparation for the run and the gameplay may be very different. I'm not going to expand on it, but there are daily runs, one-time runs to try to get a new perk, repeatable runs which give you resources to have other rewards, challenge square runs, and achievement runs. Achievements give you power, so you need to try to complete all achievements as well. There are 2 universes in the game, 1 and 2. It took me almost 6 months to reach the second universe. Some things work the same in both universes, and some work differently. But the first one does not become irrelevant once you reach the second one. You need to continue doing runs in both of them. The main resource of the first universe is helium, and in the second is radon. Killing the last guy in each zone in each void map is your main source for helium or radon. When you finish a run, you can spend it on the perks you have unlocked, so in the next run you will be stronger. As I said, this is the core gameplay. The last enemy of a void map will also drop an heirloom, a staff or shield with different stats, which come in different tiers depending on the level the void map was cleared at. You need different heirlooms for different occasions. The core is a heirloom that drops from a spire. You'll know what a spire is when you reach zone 200. Where can you find information about the game? Not surprisingly, the best 2 places are the official Wiki and Discord. The Wiki for the game is great, especially this extremely long guide, which will tell you 95% of all you need to know about Universe 1 and the beginning of Universe 2. So if you plan to start playing, check this guide first. The Discord is also great. Similar to Revolution Idol, it has channels for different stages of progression, with sticky messages about everything you need to know in that stage. You can ask anything else that's not covered. It may take a while to get an answer, because there are not that many people in the Discord, but you will get an answer eventually. Tools. There are several tools that are pretty much required in order to play the game. This is a list of most of the tools available, but I want to cover the most important ones. All the links to them are in the description. Some of them are not straightforward, you may need a guide just to learn how to use the tool, but that information is available on Discord and other places. Perky is a tool which tells you how to allocate your perks. You import your save file, which is just a text string, choose the desired preset, copy the output, and import it at the portal screen. The website also has a Z-Farm tool, but I haven't used it even once. The Heirlooms tool will show you how to optimally upgrade your heirlooms. It's the same thing with the save string. The Trimps Spire database will tell you how to arrange your spire traps and towers. Daily Seeker will tell you the rewards of future dailies. Surkey is a similar tool to Perky, but it's used for Universe 2. That's all the tools I have been using, but there are others if you may need them. If you don't play on Steam, you need to be careful not to delete your save file. It can happen when you delete your browser history. I connected my account to PlayFab, so it gets saved there, but just in case you can save your save string on Google Docs once in a while. The game development cycle is complete. It did receive an update in the beginning of 2025. It may get small updates in the future, but don't expect a third universe or anything of the sort. There will be no more big updates. Well, that's all I wanted to cover in this game. My current HZE, highest zone ever, is 112 in Universe 2 and almost 800 in Universe 1. I intend to play at least until I finish all the achievements, which means probably around 6 months or so from what I understand. So my Trimps journey is far from being complete. That's all from me, thanks for watching. Bye bye.